Now, this is how you can finally turn your passion for fitness into profit and start a 6-figure plus personal training business in 2026. So the first thing you need to really decide is if you want to go the conventional corporate way and go into a big box gym and become a personal trainer, or if you want to go all the way in on entrepreneurship. Both ways are valid. You may want to do something somewhere in between, transition from corporate into entrepreneurship, which can help you get a good foundation first. So who am I before we get into everything? I'm Alex. I'm the co-founder of ThriveWell Consulting Group. And why am I qualified to speak on this topic? It's because I've helped dozens of coaches go from low performers to high performing personal trainers, whether that be in the conventional corporate space or in the entrepreneur space. I've coached coaches from doing only about $1,000 to $2,000 a month to upwards of $10, $15, and even $20,000 a month as a personal trainer. Now in this video, I'm gonna dive into how you can start a personal training business from scratch, even with zero experience and no clients to start with. So the first step is gonna be to get certified and to understand your market. I know right now, the personal training industry, the fitness industry is such a hot topic. I feel like everybody wants to get into it, which is a beautiful thing. But I wanna make sure that you understand the importance of being a qualified professional, especially when you talk about not just doing personal training in the conventional corporate space, but entrepreneurship, buyers, consumers, and really anyone who's looking at your brand is gonna be very aware of if you're certified or if you're not certified. So you wanna make sure that you don't put yourself behind the 8 ball and think that you can just go into the personal training industry as a novice and skip the hard work of getting your certification. That's the first thing that you're gonna need to do before you do anything else. Become a certified fitness professional. All right, now, what are the best accredited certifications to get? The ones I would recommend are first NASM. They have a long history of having a great board for education and helping personal trainers all across the globe. Another recommendation would be NSCA. And my last recommendation would be ACE. And a further recommendation would be ISSA. The reason why I think ISSA is a great option as well too is because they have an open book policy for passing that personal training certification. Now, after you get certified, for one, you're gonna really need to take a step back and a breather just because you passed your national certification as a personal trainer, and that's a big accomplishment. From there, you wanna start to think about your market, your niche market. So who are the clients that you're looking to attract? Once you think about that, you want to really dive in and think about where those clients may hang out at, what are some of the problems that those clients need solved, and how you can be the best at solving those problems and attracting them as a new client. I'll use myself as an example. As a fitness professional, when I was diving into the fully entrepreneurial game, I really was able to hone in on the client base that I wanted. I wanted to work with high performance professionals and entrepreneurs. That being said, one of their biggest problems is they don't have enough time. So I decided to really invest in things to amplify my business service solutions when I became a full-time entrepreneur in personal training. Meaning I invested in my own white label personal training app. I invested in payment processing tools within my websites. And I also invested in CRMs, which is consumer relationship management tools. This allowed me to really get solutions in front of current clients, potential clients, as quickly as possible in order to give them the best service possible. Now, another example within the same scope is where do those clients hang out? So I really thought about that. I took my time to think about the clients that I currently had on my roster who are high performance professionals and entrepreneurs. And I thought about where do they usually tell me that they frequent. They're usually in places that require high-level business meetings. They're usually constantly traveling. So with that, I decided to invest in business cards that would get me to go to some fine dining experiences to meet clients who may be looking for solutions, who are high-performance professionals and entrepreneurs. And those business cards also allows me to access lounges where high professionals and entrepreneurs hang out before travel. Now, the great thing is we have some additional information on our YouTube channel, which you'll see about business credit, but we're not going to dive into that today. What we're going to go into now is, now that you have the clientele that you want to reach and where you can reach them, it's time for you to create your branding plan. The branding plan is going to start with your business name and your business logo. So now with this, I would recommend that you keep it simple and you make sure that it's something that represents you. So with the business name, what do you feel like really embodies the service that you're trying to deliver? And with the logo, you want to also think about what color schemes really embody your brand and what you're looking to deliver. And from there, you can use a graphic design artist and or Canva and ChatGPT to put together a logo that really defines your brand. Now with that, then you want to think about positioning. So what makes your brand different from everyone else's? What makes you special and what makes the service that you're looking to deliver special? That's something to think about as you get further along on that branding plan. And from there, you want to think about a tagline or a brand promise. An example of that is something like a statement that says, I help busy professionals lose 20 pounds without giving up wine on the weekend. So with that, you always want to remember something, that people buy brands. You know, they're not just buying the service. So you want to make sure that your brand identity is clear and you're always representing that brand identity. Now you have your brand set up, you have the name, the logo, your certified personal trainer. Now it's time to get into the business structure. So you want to set up your company. You want to set your company up. I'd recommend as some form of an LLC, which is a limited liability corporation. The next thing you want to do, especially if you're going fully into the independent entrepreneur market first, is getting insurance. So you want to get trainer liability insurance. I'd recommend Insurance Canopy. There are a lot of different providers out there, but you want to make sure that you get at least $3 million in overall coverage as a practitioner. From there, you want to establish yourself as a legitimate business, especially when revenue starts to come in. And how do you do that? You want to establish banking relationships. So you want to get your EIN number. After you've formed the company, you're going to get an EIN number, whether it's an LLC or any other form of company. And then with that, you can start by creating a business bank account. And once you create a business bank account, you're going to be able to receive revenue and you're going to be able to have taxable income and you're going to be a legitimate business. From there comes the payment processing infrastructure, especially if you're an online coach and especially if you're fully entrepreneurial. You want to make sure that you have Calendly set up, Stripe, and QuickBooks to balance your books, amongst a lot of other tools that we'll dive deeper into later. Now you want to start to focus on building an online presence. Now I can tell you that that's going to start with creating a website first. Social media is important, but a website is really going to build that authenticity and build that foundation for your business. Now, when building your first website, I recommend that you use a professional. I know that there are a lot of apps to start it out, but you want to use somebody who knows how to integrate payment processing, who knows how to really fully lay out your page the way that you want your brand to look, because it's important, because that's going to be the first thing that people are going to see about your brand when they do a deeper dive into your full personal training account. And now you have your website all built. Now, if you don't have social media already, I'd highly recommend you get on every possible social media platform, and then you can start to include testimonials once you get your first client. Now with social media, you want to start building your brand, showcasing your workouts, showcasing how you're helping any clients that you may have started with. And if you don't have any clients yet, start training some of your friends and family and showcasing that so that people are aware of exactly what you do. Now from there, you can build something that's very important, your Google business profile, because now people are going to be fully aware of your brand and you can tie in your website, social media platforms, and everything into that Google business profile. And lastly, with Google Business, I'd highly recommend that you integrate keywords, SEO keywords, which your web developer can help you with, or you can even search out on ChatGPT so that when people search personal training, especially in specific areas, your business starts to pop up. Now, lastly, how do you attract your first 5 to 10 personal training clients? Now, this can be twofold. If you're in a conventional corporate gym, you want to make sure that you're the mayor of that gym, meaning that you're having 5 to 10 meaningful conversations a day with any members that are in the gym about fitness. You also want to make sure that you're learning and taking note of all the members that are in the gym and all the members that you have interacted with. As you get comfortable and they become familiar with you, you want to gradually start to offer them helpful tips about their workouts. From there, you can engage them in what's called a complimentary fitness evaluation. That's when you can make sure that the person sees value in what you're offering and that you're providing them with clear, concise solutions to any fitness needs that they may have. Now, if you're fully entrepreneurial, I'll be honest and I'll let you know that it's a little bit more challenging and complex to attract your first 5 to 10 clients. There are many ways to do it, but where I've seen our mentees have the most success is with client referrals once you do have your first few clients, and with online ads. We'll dive deep into online ads on this channel, but once you have people in front of you after online ads, you can give them a complimentary evaluation and provide them with the appropriate solutions. Congrats, you've begun to start your personal training business. If you look in the description, we're dropping a template of how to set up your Google business profile, which I mentioned previously is very important for a personal training business. And if you found this video helpful, like, subscribe, and drop a comment and let me know what else you're all looking to find out about.